Look at the final scoreline of this 2026 World Cup match. Iraq 1, Norway 4. And it's easy to assume this was a routine blowout. But for the opening 30 minutes, the numbers hide the reality of a match that was a tightly deadlocked, competitive battle. This was a historic moment for Iraq, taking their very first touches of a World Cup ball in their white kits against the red of Norway. It highlights a core truth of the tournament. History is rarely defined by 90 minutes of pressure. It turns on small, isolated errors that can instantly derail a team's entire strategy. Norway struck first less than a half hour in, as Erling Haaland capitalized on an assist from Müller to secure his first ever World Cup goal. Conceding early to a side like Norway often forces an underdog into a defensive shell, pinned back by the mounting pressure of the deficit. But Iraq immediately subverted those expectations, mounting a crisp counterattack that saw Al-Amari set up Iman Hussein for a clinical equalizing header. At 1-1, the match transformed into a high-tension standoff, putting a genuine upset within Iraq's reach. The game pivoted on a single turning point, a defensive sequence that looked minor at the moment it happened. This diagram illustrates the risk of short passing in your own third. When a pass lacks sufficient pace to reach a teammate, it breaks the team's defensive proximity and leaves the ball in no man's land. Haaland thrives on these specific lapses. As the animation shows, he is constantly lurking in these channels, allowing him to pounce the moment a pass falls short. The result is an impossibly simple goal for Haaland, regaining the lead for Norway at 2-1. It serves as a reminder that matches at this level aren't usually decided by 90 minutes of failure, but by momentary lapses that elite talents are waiting to exploit. Falling behind for the second time triggered an immediate shift in Iraq's approach, as they traded their early discipline for a more reactive, hurried style of play. Al-Hamidi attempted to force an equalizer with a powerful strike straight down the middle, but the shot lacked the placement to beat the keeper. Soon, Ibrahim Bayesh and Hussein Ali began relying on speculative lobs and individual tricks, hoping for a moment of brilliance rather than trusting their patient buildup. These hurried attempts led to rapid, uncontrolled turnovers. Because Iraq was committing bodies forward for these attacks but losing possession quickly, they couldn't regroup into a compact shape, leaving the massive midfield voids that Norway was waiting for. With Iraq's structure opening up, Norway's attack began to flow with a level of precision that hadn't been possible in the first half. Martin Ødegaard took control of these spaces, orchestrating a sequence that surgically dismantled the overstretched Iraqi defense. Oscar Bobb was central to this movement, highlighting the depth of Norway's offensive options as they moved the ball through the final third. This is the effect of Haaland gravity. As the striker hunts for a hat trick, his presence physically pulls panicked defenders toward him, creating the open pockets that Ødegaard and Bobb need to dominate. Ostigard soon capitalized on that space, leaping higher than the ball to secure Norway's third goal with a powerful header. A final scooped shot then slipped past the goalkeeper's grasp, finalizing the scoreline at 4-1. The final result suggests a blowout, but it ignores how competitive Iraq remained for the first third of the match. In the end, the World Cup doesn't reward effort, it rewards precision. A team can play brilliantly for long stretches, but a single lapse in judgment against elite talent will trigger an unrecoverable collapse.